Hello, hello. Thank you so much for watching today. I know that some of you are feeling a little anxious about the election results and you're thinking about moving abroad. Well, today is the day for you. Today I'm going to talk about 10 essential steps that you need to take to make you have a smooth international move abroad. Okay? So a little bit about me. My name is Mary, and this is my channel. I'm all about encouraging, motivating, and supporting Black women to live their best lives. So if this is something that you think you want to be interested in, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. It's a free way to support my channel. So listen, let's get right into these important 10 steps. You can take notes, you can pause the video, you can replay if you want to, and share it if you think someone else is interested in moving abroad. Let's go with number 1. Define your purpose. What is your reason for moving abroad? Do you want to have a change of pace? Is your job taking you to a new location? Is it some family decision you guys have been thinking for a long time? Do you want a different lifestyle? Really thinking about your purpose and thinking about what you want your everyday life to be is very important in deciding your destination, okay? I am a pros and cons type girl. I like to make a list of pros and cons. So you might want to make a list, why move abroad? Why not move abroad? And take a look at those two things on the list to help you make a better decision. All right, so number 2 is going to be research destinations thoroughly. Now, throughout this move abroad situation that you're trying to do, you want to research everything. Research. There are tons of Facebook communities, expat groups, YouTube channels that talk about just about any country that you're interested in. So all you need to do is go into these particular media platforms, put in your particular country, expats in Colombia, expats in Portugal, expats in Mexico, wherever it is that you're wanting to move to, start researching these particular destinations. The last thing you want to do is move to a country and not be sure of the climate, the cost of living, the cultural, the language barriers. You want to make sure you've done some research to pick your particular country. And also you want to make sure that particular country, if that's important to you, if they already have an established community of expats, if it's in a rural area, if it's in the city, these are things that you want to research prior to making your international move. Number 3, you want to understand the visa and the legal requirements. Now, some people are not permanent residents. I am a permanent resident of Panama. Some people stay the max at a particular country, then they might leave for a little bit and come back to another country and just stay like that. Whatever you decide to do, that's up to you, but make sure you know the requirements. Don't buy a one-way ticket and get stuck at the airport and they won't let you in because you don't show proof that you're leaving. Make sure you know what you can do and what you can't do before you make that particular move. You might want to get a consultation with an immigration lawyer. You can look into Facebook groups and get referrals for your particular country. But make sure you know the legal requirements, how long you can stay in that country, what type of visas do they offer, what are the requirements for the visas. All these things can be researched and found out before you decide on that particular country. Some countries might have easier visa requirements, and the cost of the visa might also be a particular consideration. So all of those things will help you make your decision when you're deciding where you're going to go. Speaking of costs, number 4 is financial planning and budgeting. finances, finances, finances. Make sure you have your finances in order. This is extremely important. You should be budgeting for how much is it going to cost you to move. How much is the plane ticket going to cost? How much are those extra bags? Shipping costs. What about my apartment? Do I have to pay a deposit? How much is that going to cost? What about incidentals? Okay, what about if I need to purchase a health care? What about my groceries? What about my utilities? And I also need to have either a blank credit card or a safety net in my retirement or your savings in case an emergency happens. So all of these costs, the cost to move, you need to put all of that stuff in your budget and see if it's a realistic time for you to move. Don't just get on a plane and be stuck somewhere. You want to make sure you're comfortable in your decision and you're living your reality. Your dream becomes a reality. Okay, so we want to make sure you are successful as possible. Okay, and some things are going to happen. You cannot plan everything, right? But if you take these particular steps, you're going to be more successful than not successful. All right, so look at your budget. Everybody knows what their budget is. You can have a different budget than somebody else, but keep in mind that most countries have a wide variety of apartments available and all types of budget. So you should be able to find something to fit your particular needs. You also, when you're thinking about moving, you need to find out, how are you going to pay your bills every month? Is your job going to transfer you? Are you going to be able to work remotely? That's something that you need to have planned out before you make that international move. You don't want to get to a country and only have maybe a couple of months saved up and have to worry about how you're going to pay your bills. Okay, so this is a part of your plan, a part of your research. You have to research remote jobs or international jobs available in that particular country that you're traveling to. Make sure you do that because you want to have enough income to sustain you so you can live your best life abroad. Okay? Number 6, you're going to decide on housing. Okay, you might be renting. Okay, you might be thinking about purchasing. I highly suggest that you rent at least 1 year in a new country before you decide to purchase, because your taste might change and you might think you want the beach and then you go there and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, there's not enough stuff going on here. I think I want to go back to the city. So get the lay of the land by renting before you make that decision to purchase, okay? Because that's a big decision and you want to make sure you make the right decision. And once again, look for the property or the rental depending on your particular budget. You can hire, somebody to help you. It could be a real estate agent. It could be a referral from an expat group. Now listen, you don't have to reinvent the wheel in any of this stuff. Everybody have gone before you and made this a whole lot easier. That's why I'm telling you to use the resources that are out there, the expat groups, the WhatsApps, the YouTube University has everything. But it's best for you. Don't just think about what, count on what people have told you. Do some research yourself and kind of like follow up to what they said too and validate that as well, because you're ultimately responsible for your own life. So don't just go by what somebody have told you. Make sure you are crossing all your I's, dotting all your I's, and crossing your T's. Okay, number 7, you're going to handle your family and schooling needs. Now, if you're moving with family or maybe school-age children, you need to research how is education in that particular country. Are public schools good enough? How are the international schools? What's the cost of the international schools? Because if you have to pay for schooling, that's something else you need to include in your budget for moving to a new country, okay? You might want to look at homeschooling. You might want to get into some parent groups to find out how is it living in this particular country with children, to get your support, to make sure you've done your research so you can determine the best move for you and your family. All right, number 8, organized moving logistics. Now, don't let anybody decide how much you want to move. You can sell all your stuff, okay? You can start getting yourself ready before you come. You can sell your home, you can rent it out, you can Airbnb. You can start decluttering. There's lots of things that have to happen before you make an international move, okay? You can start getting quotes from shipping companies. If you decide you want to bring some household items with you, start getting quotes from different shipping companies. You can get referrals from different expat groups and get some quotes. You can also compare the shipping costs with the cost for the airlines for additional baggage. You can call the airlines to get that information. Sometimes it's on the website. But you can decide how much you want to bring or how little you want to bring. But those particular costs, put that in your budget. Okay, don't forget the shipping costs, the cost to actually move. Put that in your budget so you can determine how much money you're going to need for your international move. And also, if you do decide to ship some items, make sure you factor in how long it's going to take. So you might have to be without some necessary items before you get here. You might have to live in an Airbnb for a month or two until you can get into your apartment. So logistically, make sure all those things are working out. And one thing I want to say about housing, don't pick an apartment just by seeing a video. Make sure you have somebody on the ground that you trust, or you come to the country yourself, okay, to check it out before you actually rent the apartment. Number 9, you're going to prepare for cultural adjustment. Now listen, moving to a new country is not going to be like living in the States. Things are going to be different, okay? There's going to be different languages. There are going to be different customs. There might be a custom where they don't rush you to get up from the table. Excuse me. You might have to hunt somebody down in order... Excuse me. I should have had some water. You might need to hunt somebody down in order to pay for your ticket when it's time to leave after a meal. Some countries leisurely eat. They don't throw the ticket down when they bring you the food. It's up to you. You can sit there for hours if you want to. So things are not going to be the same. Okay, there might be long lines for things. There might be a lot of paperwork for maybe just something really simple. You might have to sign 20 pages in order to get a cell phone. Things are not going to be the same. So make sure you're flexible and you understand that there's going to be an adjustment when you move abroad. And a good thing to do is maybe start taking some language classes before you move to that particular country. 2 words that you can learn in any language: hello and thank you. Those 2 little simple words, if you say those, that's going to show that you're making an effort, okay, to integrate in this particular community. You're not coming there thinking that, hey, everything should be in English. You're willing to learn and integrate yourself. So think about that as well. Okay, and number 10, build a local support network. Having community is extremely important when you're living abroad. you can move abroad and not socialize with anybody, but you're going to be lonely. And if you get sick, you're going to need some help. So it's best to start joining those communities prior to actually moving. And once you get in the country, make an effort, okay? Because people have meetups all the time in all of these countries. They're posted on Facebook. They're posted all kinds of places, okay? WhatsApp groups. The word gets out when there's something going on. So even if you're a shy person, make sure you make an effort to attend a meetup to meet some new people in your community. That is just very important to do, to have connections. And not only just expats, you need to have local connections as well, especially, okay, if there's a language issue. I think I skipped one. Yeah, especially if there's a language issue, okay, or a language barrier, make sure you have someone that can assist you in case of emergency. So I think I skipped over because I don't remember talking about healthcare. Yeah, I don't remember talking about healthcare. But if I did, y'all gonna hear it again. Listen, make sure you have researched healthcare, okay? Check with your local healthcare that you already have. See if they cover you internationally. They might and they might not. Okay, see if they have referrals in whatever country that you're traveling in. Okay, research expat or international insurance coverages. Okay, also for the particular country, some of the countries have expat or foreign insurance for foreigners. So check that out too. Especially if you have pre-existing conditions. We all know our health. If you know that you have some issues, some medical issues, you should be really doing your research to make sure if something happens, if there's an emergency, you are covered. You don't want to get to a country and, have to come out of your pocket because you didn't take just the little steps to research and get some insurance before you get there. Okay, that's just very important. And whether or not you have pre-existing insurance, pre-existing conditions or not, everyone should be covered for insurance. Okay, so that's something, whether it's your travel insurance, look at their policies, see what they cover internationally until you get to that country and get an actual policy for that country. But make sure you're getting something that will assist you if there's some sort of medical emergency. Okay? So listen, these are just 10 guides that I know based on my experience and all the traveling that I've been doing and the questions and the comments that I have seen in the expat groups. I know these steps will assist you in having a smooth transition in your international move. It only takes a little research, a little action on your part to make sure your dreams become a reality. And I want you to be successful. If this is something that you want to do, I want to make sure you have the best international move possible. And that's what my channel is all about. Inspiring, motivating, and empowering you, okay, to make the best decision that you have to. So if you think of anybody that needs this information, make sure you share it and make sure you hit the like and subscribe because it's a free way to support my channel. And listen, take a breather, take a deep breath. I know this is a, anxious time for a lot of us. We don't know what's going to happen. But if you want to make a move abroad, follow these steps, okay? And it's going to make your life so much easier. If you have any questions about me, about moving abroad, and if you think it's a good idea for me to do a Q&A about moving abroad, let me know that in the comments as well. I'm open to doing that as well because it's hard to answer individual questions But I'm thinking about doing a Q&A about moving abroad, and that way I can be available to answer your questions live. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck to you. Stay calm. Be well. Did it go off? No. Bloopers. Okay. Is this still going?